It's not touchscreen. Oh well, we're not doing the intro. We already did it. Hey guys, what's up? It's Carlos from the Just Fans podcast, and of course I got Rios next to me. What's up, Rios? How's it going?
If you watch that entire game, you are a sucker for punishment.
Yeah, that was a pretty bad preseason game that we just kind of endured here. Texans went up against the how do you call it the Dolphins. I forget that your laptop is not touchscreen. That's why I keep like pressing at it. It was a very low scoring game. I kind of predicted a low scoring game, but the odds in our favor as opposed to the Dolphins' favor.
Yeah.
So I had the opposite effect. All right, so let's.
So it's your fault.
It's my fault apparently. So first of all, before we continue, I want to talk about the specials that are going on right now at Bull and Bear. $5 dogs, $5 burgers, $4 draft beer.
Hey, those hot dogs were delicious. I was like, "Oh, this is good."
Yeah, the dogs were delicious. I think the burgers were actually pretty good as well from what we hear. So that's pretty cool. So again, just bring it. Order whatever you can. It's $5 dogs, $5 burgers, and of course $4 draft beers. So we're going to be talking a little bit about the post game show. The post game after the Texans just terrible loss today, but it's okay. It's preseason, so it's not that big of a deal. So
the games don't matter, but
games
still,
don't matter.
We're still going to go into it.
I got to say though, I did like what I saw in some things, and some things were just come on. Let's get better at that stuff. So really quick,
let's start with the positives.
Yeah, let's start with the positives. We finally got to see a little more of C.J. Stroud. How do you think he looked like Rails today?
So, not counting that first series where we were basically inside the 5 and you couldn't punch it in, because it looked like there was miscommunication between CJ and Dalton. And it looks like they were, talking on the sideline. So it was obviously a miscommunication. But after that series, he looked pretty sharp. He was moving well in the pocket. His accuracy was something to behold. Like, it was just, he threw it in spots where only the receiver could make a play. And it was refreshing to see it, considering the last 2 seasons of, terrible passes, terrible accuracy. It's just nice seeing a guy that's very pinpoint with the accuracy. Now, definitely would have helped having Tank Dill out there. I think it would have opened up a lot as far as creating more space for the other receivers. Because Nico was, basically receiver number 1 today, and he looked pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, he looked pretty good. But I think Tank Dell should be the top dog in that receiving pecking order.
Yeah. So today, we had C.J. Stroud had a 58.3 completion rating. He had 60 passing yards today. No touchdowns, unfortunately, but he definitely did look a little bit more comfortable. There was a particular series where a particular drive where he got the Texans all the way to a scoring position, but we couldn't capitalize on it. So that was a downside to it.
A side very familiar since the Met Shop days, unfortunately.
Right. So honestly, the Texans should have capitalized with a touchdown at that Perriman interception.
2 drives, honestly, that one and the one where they drove down the field.
So obviously some work that needs to be done on the end zone. But yeah, he ended his second preseason game with he was 7-12, which was great. 58.3 percentage completion for him, 60 yards. He was averaging about 5 yards, and I think his longest was like 14 yards. But QB rating of 71.5, that's not bad at all for him.
So the takeaway for this game is not so much the stats, more or less how he looked out there, the pocket awareness, the being able to read the defenses. He did a much better job. Didn't look like a rookie like he did compared to week 1. Again, he threw 4 passes last week, but this week, got the whole half like I predicted, because it's basically the dress rehearsal. Because since preseason's only 3 games, they're gonna have basically the guys trying to make the squad next week, and after that, it's gonna go from 90 roster members to 53, and then week 1.
So what I wanted to see is I feel like we could have actually had a higher score if we would have kept the drive alive. There was a particular drive where there was like a play action pass. C.J. Stroud rolls to his left. He sensed the awareness of his awareness was on point because he sensed the defender coming at him. And there's a play action pass. He throws it to Noah Brown, which unfortunately
he should have caught that.
Should have caught it, but did not. So that was that was something that obviously they have to go back to.
Yeah, he had that defender on skates. It was something to behold. Like if Noah Brown would have caught that ball easily, it would have ended in 7 the end of the series, but it didn't. But
It could have had a bigger score for sure, but it didn't. So,
again, this is what preseason's for because under Coley and Lovie Smith, 3-0 in preseason, 2-1 preseason, and we saw how those seasons turned out. So I'm not too concerned about how this preseason ends. It's about learning from your mistakes, building upon those, and showing out when the games actually matter.
yeah, exactly. So I wish Noah would have caught it. I think that would have built some more momentum for us
Cut.
for this particular cut. He's done. No, I'm kidding. Go back to Dallas now. And so Nico Collins, he had about 21 receiving yards, 2 receptions, so that's not too bad.
He looked pretty solid. I think
He did.
because he's 6'4". He can move pretty well. He's pretty quick.
As time
It's
goes,
him. It's just staying
Yeah.
healthy. Even the announcers call it like his biggest thing is just staying
staying
healthy this
healthy,
year.
that consistency of him staying healthy, that has to land, or else it's. I mean, third year now, right?
Yeah.
It's third year now, so obviously
He's due for a breakout.
he's due for a breakout. Either if he doesn't do it this year, then I don't see him sticking around next season for the Texans.
If he can this year, Hutchinson's going to take his basically snaps from him. 'Cause he's looked very solid in camp and preseason. They're similar size, similar build, similar speed, but I don't know, just something about Hutchinson. He has that something extra that Nico doesn't have.
Yeah, I didn't see much from Hutchinson today. He had
Today,
like 2 yards. Yeah,
Not too much, but again, he's playing with Davis Mills, and
yeah, Davis Mills. Yeah, what do you say to your Davis Mills stands right now? That should the score have been 28-3?
well, like again, it helped having Tank Dale last week. He had 99 yards throwing last week, and 65 of those came from Tank.
Yeah.
Didn't have him this weekend where he was in mid-season form, overthrowing receivers, throwing at their feet, throwing it short of the sticks, or just throwing it at triple coverage.
Yeah, CJ started off a little odd on that very first series he had, but then eventually it definitely looked. I saw a lot of highlights from CJ where it just looks like, hey, this kid's got it. Like this kid's got it. Where the fact that he was able to spread to like 4 different receivers, get receptions to 4 different receivers on this game alone, it kind of shows, hey, he has it in him.
Yeah.
It's just we're seeing pretty decent flashes, and as he develops, it'll obviously get better.
Yeah, he wasn't focused on one sole receiver. He was spreading the ball around, and he made the right reads. Like he basically, took what the defense gave him. He wasn't trying to force anything.
Right.
Versus, his first series last week, he tried to force something and it got picked off. This week, no, he took what the defense gave him. Sure, there's a few checkdowns, but checkdowns in the right situations is not bad. If it's 1st and 10 and no one's open, throw to the running back.
Yeah.
Now, if it's 3rd and 15 and you throw it to the running back, 10 yards short of the sticks, that's Davis Mills.
Yeah, we got Fromber Valdez starting today. I'm looking at the screen. Fromber starting, so that's going to be fun. I like Fromber. So really quick, again, I do want to announce if you're here at Bull and Bear, take advantage. We got $5 dogs, $5 burgers, $4 beer, and in a few minutes, I'm going to announce the winner of our Jordan Alvarez replica ring from earlier today. So
unfortunately, no one gave me money, so I'm a little upset about that.
You'll be fine. You'll survive. But
No.
nonetheless, so yeah, that's what I liked about today. The positive that I took about today was definitely seeing CJ be able to spread the ball out to different receivers. I think that's good. That gives them
And
a lot of
also
options.
the O line protecting him.
The whole line did protect him today.
Because
Yeah.
last week he was basically under pressure almost 70% of the time. This week, 20%. Like it was a huge improvement. It helped having Laramie out there, helped
Yeah.
having some of the starters out there. I think once we get Titus Howard back out there, it's going to solidify the O line.
Yeah, he's going to
And
have
he's-
all the time in the world to throw the ball. Hopefully.
That and Tank Dell. Tank Dell is always open.
What
That's,
I- what
that
I
definitely
did-
helps. As
What
well.
I did like is the awareness that he has right now on this game as opposed to last week's game. He was trying to throw, even though he missed a few times. He was trying to throw it fast, obviously trying to avoid
Avoid the sack.
the sack and the pressure coming at him. So I thought that was pretty cool. So he's getting better as time goes on.
It's reminiscent of his training camp. Like when the first couple days of training camp, he started off real slow, didn't look very sharp. You had question marks about him. As training camp went on, got much sharper, got better with the reads, and then he just looked lights out in training camp. And I think it's going to be the same thing with the regular season. Like, I don't see him playing next week. Next week's going to be basically the guys trying to make the team. Week 1, I don't see a win, but we're going to see flashes. I think as this year goes on, he's going to get better and better, and we're going to see that, Georgia game TJ towards the end of the season, and Look at NFL year 2.
Yeah. Damian Pierce today had like 6 attempts, rushed for 15 yards, and he was gaining like 2.5 yards per run. I mean,
I wasn't too worried about David
yeah,
Pierce. Like,
he's gonna be solid, but it was just like okay.
yeah, he'll get his in the regular season.
Yeah.
I wasn't too worried about him. It was Boone, man. He got lit up a couple times today.
Mike Boone did get lit up a couple of times. He had 5 rushing attempts, one less than Damian Pierce. Rushed for 12 total yards, and he was averaging 2.4 yards per run.
I would say the one positive is no one got seriously hurt.
Yeah.
Because the Dolphins, they lost a chain, and he got carted off, and that didn't look good. And you don't want that in preseason.
No, that's for sure. Like Channy, right? That's what he said. Yeah, Channy. Like he rushed for 27 yards, 6 attempts. He was rushing about 4.5 yards a run. However, he got lit up by Will Anderson today.
Yeah.
You saw that? He was trying to go for the block. Will Anderson came over, ran him through, and then ran the quarterback over for the sack. Quarterback loses the ball, but unfortunately, they weren't able to recover that.
If there was someone else there, it would be easy fumble recovery. I think Will Anderson today, man among boys.
Yeah. Oh, Will Anderson stood out like crazy today. That guy, I think he's worth, like right now, looking at it, I feel like he was worth the pick. What about you?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
I've been saying it since the beginning. Defensive Rookie of the Year, easily could 10, 11, 12 sacks. If he breaks a rookie record, hey, I'll be the first one singing his praises. But yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, he had 2 tackles today, one sack, and 1 forced fumble on this game today. That's a good
Not
number.
bad for one half of football.
Yeah, not bad for one half of football. So I like it. I'll take it any day of the week. That's awesome.
Our front seven looked pretty solid. The secondary looks solid.
They rushed the quarterback.
It's just though, my issue I think is we got to make sure our starters stay healthy because the second and third unit they look very very shaky because Miami basically moved the ball at will.
Yeah.
We had no answers for the running backs. We had no answers for some of the speedier receivers, and it's a little bit cause of concern that we have injuries later on in the year.
So I want to agree with you exactly on that. Why, like, it feels like still the run game is still a little bit of a weakness on defense.
It feels like it, but then again, Miami has so Mostert. It was a collegiate level runner,
Right.
like so he's fast.
Yeah.
That's 4.3 speed. A chain 4.3 speed.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff wasn't in play today, but also another guy that's very fast. So I think our problem this season is going to be against guys that are like those 4.3 speed running backs.
Yeah.
That's going to be a problem, I think. But any other running back, I think we should be okay. But those guys are, there's Olympic level runners. Like it's going to be trouble for any kind of defense.
Yeah, I specifically liked Will Anderson. I think that's the player of the game for me. He stood out like crazy. Will Anderson,
big time.
Yeah. Anybody else? Obviously, another one that stood out to me was Perriman with that interception. He's going to be great.
Perriman and the defensive tackles. Roy Lopez stepped up a little bit today.
A little bit, not too much. Something
not eye popping, but enough for what you want in your backup. Defensive tackle.
Oh, for sure. What do you think about Devin Singletary?
I think he's going to be a revelation in the passing game.
Okay.
Especially in those third and longs, because we don't know what Pierce is as far as a passing. As a catching running back yet. Didn't show a lot of flashes last year. To be determined this season, but I think Singletary, that was kind of his bread and butter in Buffalo.
Yeah. He
was there for the most part, the third down back in those long situations where they needed catches and get some yards.
Yeah. No, for sure. Definitely.
So he'll definitely be a bigger upgrade than Davis Mills' favorite target, Rex Burkhead.
So we got a comment from our buddy, what do you call it? Our buddy, the Yankee fan. What's going on, fellas? Great show. You take this win today, Johnny.
Yeah, the Yankees got decimated, so he needed to pick me up.
He needed to win somehow with.
Much love, Johnny.
Yeah, much love, Johnny. Appreciate you. Yeah, man. So yeah, definitely something to look forward to is CJ Stroud's development.
The score was horrible, but again, this is preseason. You want to look at the development and the progression from the previous week.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so now it's time to see who won. The Jordan Alvarez ring, and our winner is Kevin Allen. Come on down. There you go, Kevin Allen. You get yourself a replica Jordan Alvarez ring. Here you go, sir.
Appreciate that.
Not a problem. Here you go.
Awesome.
There
Thank
you
you.
go. No problem.
Yes, sir.
There we go. We got our winner. We're gonna the next time we come here is gonna be for the game one Ravens versus Texans game. That should be fun.
Yeah.
We may have some more giveaways. We may have some more specials. Every time we're coming here, we're probably having specials going on. So
And as always, I'm open to bribes.
yes, Rios is up with the bribes. He's terrible.
I can be bought.
Yeah, very easily. That without even you having to try. So yeah, for sure.
Well, financial compensation works.
Yeah.
I'm not that easy.
All right, so I think we talked pretty good about the Texans so far. What is the what is something that you really didn't like? We
That-
talked about the positives. What's the negative, man?
Definitely that run defense.
Yeah, that's a little concerning.
Because we had our starters out there for the most part in the first half, and they couldn't stop the run. They had like 100+ rushing yards and like less than 20 carries. It was a little concerning, not gonna lie. But I think those type of running backs are gonna give us problems all year. Those speedsters, like guys like Mostert and Achane, like those are the guys who are gonna give us trouble. Other running backs, I think we can contain them, but also that run edge, it's like guys like so these little guys running backs, they're not gonna run up the middle. They're gonna go on the edge, and that's where we struggled today.
Yeah, but it's always been like it seems like the most consistent thing is the run defense has been just bad, especially.
It's been an issue
since
since Clowney left a few years ago because he was terrible. He wasn't that great at second the quarterback, but he was great at setting the edge essentially.
Yeah, I mean but that's all you have to take from Clowney, right?
Yeah, I mean that was his bread and butter. Setting the edge, stopping the run. He wasn't a great pass rusher. He'd be one of those guys that would almost get there, but not quite get the sack.
Yeah.
But at setting the edge and tackles for loss, he was great at. And we haven't had something like that since he left.
Yeah. Do you feel like eventually any of these we didn't talk about Collins. Collins, defensive end Collins. The one remember he was taking boxing lessons?
Oh, Malik Collins.
Malik
Yeah.
Collins, yeah.
He looked pretty good today. I'm not gonna lie.
He looked pretty solid.
I think we have a good tandem with him and Rankins out there.
As long as we see like these guys actually chasing after the quarterback, and like I said, that Bulls on parade style defense, I think we're gonna be pretty solid defensively.
I think runs up the middle, we'll be able to stuff. It's just the edge is what I'm a little concerned about. Because Will Anderson seems great at at chasing the quarterback, but as far as setting the edge, because it's also one of the things that the defensives have to do.
Yeah,
you got to be able to set the edge, and I don't know. I didn't see enough from him as far as that so far.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing on the other side with Jerry Hughes and Grenard. Like,
Jonathan Grenard had a pretty good little tackle wraparound. Remember, he's like you said earlier, he's playing for a contract.
Yeah, contract year.
So we're gonna see definitely Grenard step up
because most of those runs came on the edge. That's like I said, that was a little concerning. None of them was right up the middle.
Yeah. That's true. So, all right. So we went over the positives and negatives of the Texans here. Anything else you want to add to that, or just the run defense? Really, that was the biggest concern for me. And I mean, honestly, finishing the score, like scoring.
That and finishing drives.
Yeah.
Because we've seen it since the match shop days. We drive up, down,
third and out.
Basically, between the 20s, we're unstoppable. Once you get inside that 20, we just can't punch it in.
Yeah, man. Third and outs has been
especially with David Pierce. Like, David Pierce inside the 10-yard line. Like, there's no way he shouldn't have been running in. But
do you think they were just trying to be careful with him, like trying not to overuse him? Even though he got like six touches. So
I think on the fourth down they should have ran the ball. Honestly, because it was inside the 5 at that point.
Yeah.
Trust your baby beast mode running back at that point.
Yeah, he definitely could have done it. All right, so we got like 10 more minutes or so. Astros are playing the Marlins right now. So I was at the Mariners. I was at the Mariners Astros game last night.
Again, if you watched the game, you were a sucker for punishment.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. So the Astros.
Hi, that's me.
Yeah, hi, that's me. So JP France has been solid. I think I think yesterday he had a little bit of a rougher game than we're used to, but he's a great starter for us. So last night, like, all the Astros players seemed to be either fly balls or ground outs. And I was there to see Altuve's 1,998 hit. Do you think we'll see him get to 2,000 today?
Today? Nah, probably one hit. So our Achilles heel against the Mariners is pitching. They
Yeah.
just have they're our kryptonite as far as pitching goes. Like they know how to shut down our offense.
Yeah.
They're one of the few teams in this entire league that can shut down our offense, which is crazy because their record
We
wouldn't
have.
show otherwise. But
I was gonna say we have a pretty decent offense to begin with, but
no.
sometimes
But like against them, they have a winning record against us.
yeah, even since last season, which was a World Series season. So it's like they
Because
always have a
they're
number.
6-2 against us right now, if I'm mistaken.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm trying to think today because it was obviously it was so we didn't score anything. It was 2-0 yesterday.
Our problem is we just have so many guys that are in scoring position.
Yeah.
Like making contact again on baseball is not a problem. It's just anytime we have guys in scoring position, ground out, fly out every single time.
Yeah. Yainer Diaz at first base yesterday was that was bad.
I can see why they don't play that much at first because it was like at the beginning of the season that probably should have been when we experiment with this, not when you're pushing for the division.
Yeah.
But you had injuries, so I understand, but it's like,
Yeah. No, I agree 100%. Who? Now let me ask you this. So, Kyle Tucker's out again today with an illness, so there's a little bit of offense missing right there.
big part because if no one else gets me,
Kyle Tucker's got me. But this man needs to be like signed. He is worth. He can't. This is one of those. You know how the Astros have been successful when Springer, Correa, all these players have left. Kyle Tucker is one of those guys you can't let go.
well, Dana Brown said he's going to sign him. At this point, you put it. You basically said it out loud for all of the world to hear.
Mhm.
You can't let him leave at this point because you said you're going to sign him. Like if he lets him leave, how much credibility does he have at that point? Like you're gonna have to sign him at this point. So I'm not too worried about him re-signing.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things about as far as like with the Texans, CJ being in the starter. It's a foregone conclusion. It's just a matter of time.
So they got. I'm looking at the lineup right now. They got again Yainer Diaz at first base. And so it's Altuve, Bregman, Alvarez, McCormick, Diaz, Dubon, Pena. I mean, it's a solid lineup, really.
It is. I'm not a big fan of Diaz at first base.
Yeah.
I think he should be the DH, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's like you don't want Jordan playing in the field that often either. It's Dusty has a hard job of trying to manage this lineup. People give him a hard time about it, but like he has a difficult decision to make all the time because you want Jordan. You don't want him out on the field because he's a little injury prone, which is sucks. But he's a little
for us, yeah.
He's a little injury prone. But you also don't want to keep Diaz on the bench because Diaz has been one of our best hitters for the last few weeks.
Yeah,
like he gets on base a lot.
Yeah, no, he does. So what are you predicting the score for today? We lost literally 2-0 yesterday.
I think it's going to be another low-scoring game. I think it's going to be Astros 2, Mariners 1.
I'm going to take 5-2 Astros. I think our offense lights up today.
I don't see it against the Mariners.
I mean, the Mariners are up 1 right now.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see. You never know. I mean, we completely murdered the Angels the other day.
Yeah.
And the Angels are another team that usually has. I mean, Ohtani right now is kind of like he's going with a little small slump.
I hate to admit it, but this is the one team that kind of has our number this year.
Yeah, the Mariners.
Yeah, they have nobody else's number because they're fighting for a wild card spot. But
I think they're 4 or 5 games behind us.
They were 6 yesterday. I think now they're 5.
5. Okay. Yeah.
It's the one team that has our number. I'm not worried. I don't think they're going to make the wild card, but it's just one of those things. Like there's just certain teams that have your number. Well, they may not be very good, but they will always have your number. Which
well, think about the Astros too, though. Like one thing that you brought up before was
they play down to the competition.
They play down to the competition. So if you're playing against a team that's not doing so hot, the Astros don't play. I feel like they just don't play hard enough against them, and you have games where you're losing games for winnable games.
They be like, it's whatever. Like, we're not worried about them.
So remember when a couple weeks ago when they went against the Orioles, which has like the best record in the AL, they won that series. I think it was almost a sweep, but they ended up like losing one game to
it was 2-1.
And so but they still beat
But
the
they
team,
look
the top team.
those 2 games. They look straight dominant. It's just
Yeah.
a third one they threw up a stinker, but they were dominant.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. All right. Well, that's probably gonna be at our post game show for the Texans. So
Yeah.
we'll be back here at live at Bull and Bear game one against the Ravens, which is 12 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Hoping for better results.
Yeah, hoping for better results. We'll actually get to see C.J. Stroud because we all know he's starting.
Yeah.
So we'll see what the kids got, and it should be fun. Yeah. All right. Remember, again, if you're here in Houston, please come down to Bull and Bear. We got $5 dogs, $5 burgers, and $4 beer on tap. So please come out. 11980 West Temple Road, Suite A, Houston, Texas 77077. Come and join the fun over here at Bull and Bear.
And buy me a drink.
No,
Come on, man.
this man should not be trusted with alcohol. We know how you get. All right, man. That's gonna be it for the day.
The life of the party.
Life of the party. All right, that's gonna be it for us today. Thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate it. See you guys back here live at Bull and Bear for the Ravens game. All right. Peace out, y'all. Where's the outro?